here we go. VSC. VS. Look, they can see you. See. I don't think they can hear me talk, though, because the microphone's set up different.
So far away. Good morning and welcome to the most dangerous show of the week.
VSC.
The virtual shopping channel.
Hello. Yes, the Sun Dragon Sideshow VSC edition. Hello. Oh my gosh, you can just barely see my head above the mountain you made. Liz made a mountain of some of the yarns that we randomly selected for today.
Well, the mountain of the randomly selected yarn is perched precariously on top of another mountain of yarn that is waiting for photographs. So,
oh, well, not all that's for photographs. Some of that has been because it's dragon, but yeah. I am
just here.
Disclaimer that has nothing to do with what's on sale because I'm saying it before I've even introduced us. All this daydream we got in, I'm still trying to photograph and get up online. So, and we discovered some problems with Lorna's laces this morning. It's just been, so we're just going to talk about a few other random yarns and get back to trying to fix everything. So we don't have you buying crazy stuff online that's not actually there. So, hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in trying to be sunny and probably going to be hot, Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there.
You're the what?
Minion there.
She's being the quiet sister today, apparently.
It's morning. It's Wednesday. It's
finding
crazy.
Problems with our online system and yeah, this does not mean it's on sale. Lorna's laces went out of business and now people are noticing we have Lorna's laces and somehow our system is glitching and listing things online that we don't have. And so we're going to try to fix that. Usually our system's really good. And then it's like technology. It's great, except for when it's not. So,
yeah,
let's talk about, let me try to get my coughing under control and let's talk about what's actually on sale this week. Wednesdays, we talk about yarn, maybe notions, just yarn today. That until we film again, will be 15% off with the code product of the week with spaces. Product, singular, of the week. 15% off online or call up the shop, but remind us to use codes because we might forget because it's been busy lately or just busy enough that things like taking photos has not happened for things that need to happen. And yeah, life is a little crazy right now. Have you noticed?
Just a wee bit.
Just a little bit.
Yarn store crazy.
Yarn store has been crazy. Outside of yarn store has been even more crazy, as some of you know or I've hinted at, and y'all have to talk to me personally to find out more about that. I can't believe it hasn't even been 3 months.
Lots of crazy.
It feels like more than 3 months since crazy. So anyway, let's talk about what's on sale this week and get me out of this. So, Liz, what did you, well, I suggested one and you randomly picked another. And what do you want to start with?
Randomly, I mean randomly.
Like almost spinning around the shop with your eyes closed randomly.
Yeah.
Spinning around the shop, not with the eyes closed, going, well, I don't know. There's a bunch of yarns that have either been discontinued or we've discovered we can't reorder. And as we can, we're going to start saying, look here, grab it while you have it. And this is the first one of them, I suppose.
Is Jelli Beenz. Jelli Beenz is
by Plymouth Yarn.
It's Encore.
It's like fancy Encore because it feels a little softer, even though it's the same combo.
From the Encore family of yarns.
Yes, there's coffee beans and jelly beans. We never brought the coffee beans in. I think that one's being discontinued as well. I love the jelly beans because it's got like the two-tone twist to it that will make colors, the random colors twisted into it, pop out in weird and different ways. Like, and it's fabulous.
The twist that they twisted into, I'm just now noticing, it goes from itty bitty teeny tiny to thick. So you're going to have
a thin, thick twist.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily like the yarn gets noticeably thinner and thicker, but
it's just that one strand of color.
And that's what makes it like bubble. It like, you'll get like pops of color and it's really fun and we have nothing knit up in it.
Yep.
So you have to just take our word for it and experiment.
I am going to say this for people that come in and they're like, Encore's a little scratchy. And
It's
it's
acrylic,
acrylic. So,
there's some acrylics that are super, super soft, but
Jelli Beenz is super, super soft.
Mhm.
Like compared to
Somehow.
just straight up Encore.
somehow
Which
when they
is not
made
on
it,
sale.
they made it a little softer. It's a
It's-
little pricier,
Yeah.
maybe because of that. Maybe because of how they had to construct it. I think it's a little more labor intensive, even though it's probably machine made. You know, but
so I'm going to read some stats on it
yay,
because
stats! Because that's what you do on
that's what I
Wednesdays.
do.
That's her job.
It is 75% acrylic and 25% wool from the Encore family of yarns. It is 100 grams for 214 yards. So there is 14 more yards.
It's a
than
little,
just a
it's a little
standard-
thinner. That might be
Yeah.
what makes it a little softer.
Yeah.
Just a hair thinner. Because
Machine wash.
Encore, sorry,
Go ahead.
I'm going. Encore is usually about 200 yards.
Yep.
So you get a little
Yep.
more yardage out of the same amount of weight, which means it's a little thinner, and that might be the softness factor. And I don't know. Sorry.
They're recommending a US 8 needle, machine wash, gentle cycle, tumble dry, low.
So, and what colors do we have left?
So we have this gorgeous, this one is lime green.
And I'm pretty sure this is already online. I'll check. If
It
not,
is.
I'll get it up. Okay,
I did.
she checked. Because life is a little crazy right now. So getting new yarns up online. I will say there are still a few basic yarns that we need to get up online, but we are just busy enough. I can't even photograph the limited amount of indie dyed yarn we have, let alone the like 40 or 50 colors, maybe not quite that much, maybe like 30 colors of like Cascade.
No, there's probably
basics
40
and
or
stuff.
50 colors on some of those.
Oh my gosh. Because there's colors missing from the palette, and yet we're still not a magic box. Okay, sorry, go back to that. That's
So
lime.
we have lime. We have neon pink.
Oh, look, there's some in front of me. Go ahead, you finish your side.
And we have black.
The black is like, I think they all have the same colors twisted into them, but they will pop in different ways based on the base color. Like the black one is like amazingly, vibrantly rainbowy, poppy, yay, right? You can see it right under the blue wool Addicts there. Over here on my side, we have Miami Aqua, which is a color we have in Encore, but this is Miami Aqua, like a nice aqua blue with color in it. And we have the ever popular red. This is like jammin' bright red. So one of the reasons it's on sale this week is get it while you can, because what we have in stock is what we have and we can't get any more. So if you want enough for like a toddler sweater, get it now and you can save money. Did we say how much it is regular price?
Nope.
We
It
always
is
forget that.
$8.95 regular price. So this week, 15%
15% off. That's you're saving. You're going to save like $1-ish. Overall, pretty good. Okay. So I'm going to have a lot of like pauses today.
It's
suspense.
Fun, cool yarn. And I am kind of sad they're discontinuing it because it's great for little kids. Pop it off.
Especially little kids.
Sweaters, hats, whatever, and throw it in the washer because,
machine washable. You gotta love it. So, okay, the other yarn is kind of on the other end of the spectrum in that it's a little fancier. It's, we're doing the Wool Addicts water today, which you can see all the fuzzies piled up there. It's crimped alpaca, which is just so much fun. It's like if you like the look of mohair but don't want to deal with really super thin yarn, this might be the yarn for you.
It's like the thin mohair's bigger brother or bigger sibling.
Yeah.
Like it
doesn't have silk in it or anything.
No.
Like mohair is a silk core with the mohair kind of wrapped into it and fuzzing off of it. So it has a nice halo, but it's just alpaca, which is kind of fun. Liz is going to read stats in a second, but trying to show you, well, maybe I should show you on the white, something that'll show up a little better. Like it's got that. There we go. See?
just a little bit of fuzzy.
Like think about crimped hair, like the little zigzags. It's got a little bit of zigzag with a whole lot of enough fuzz that you'll have what we call a halo when you make something with it, which is really, really fun.
I am using it as my contrast color on my sister's papillon. So this, and it is super, super soft. So all the
Her contrast lines have
the
a little bit of
lines
fuzz.
will be fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it'll show
And
up.
I'm using it. I think I almost made a whole sweater out of it because it was just like that would be so luscious. But when I noticed the chevron cloud by Espace Tricot that was using some kind of thicker, it was an alpaca blend or something like that. For this has mohair, super thin mohair you can see through, alternating with stripes of the water, which has a fuzzy halo on it. So all of this has a fuzzy halo, which is really lovely. We have kits for this for the chevron cloud, which are not on sale this week. But if you wanted to build your own kit or your own version of making something with the color changing mohair and the solid water, you could buy just the water and save money this week. Save 15%. So it's this whole thing is luscious and soft.
What needle size are they? They're calling for 4.5 to 5 millimeter,
which
needle.
is 7 to 4.5 to 5, 7 to an 8 needle. I think I'm actually doing this on an 8, which is making the mohair super lacy. The pattern's written for like a 7, but since I think the water is a little bit thicker than the yarn that Espace Tricot used, I'm doing everything on an 8, I believe. Let me double check that. Yes, that's an 8. Haha. So the bigger the needle you do it on, the fluffier it will be. So even though what I just held up to show you, this might look teeny tiny, it's still thicker than mohair, and it will fluff. It will fill space nicely. So knit it on a bigger needle than you think you need to.
I think it would also be great for people that wanted to double strand mohair for a sweater.
Single strand this instead.
Single strand this instead.
Mm-hmm.
We know some people who are allergic to mohair but want that look.
Now, if you're allergic to alpaca, we have some lovely mohair for you. Yeah. But it's not on sale this week.
Yeah.
But like, I haven't looked at the details of this, but I know that Andrea Mowry just released a sweater that is using merino and mohair. And if the mohair happens to be double stranded, I should look at that. And so don't take my word for it, but it's a pretty thick looking sweater. So if the mohair is supposed to be double stranded, you could use a single strand of this. And we have a lot of random colors in stock right now. And we have some colors that I think have been discontinued as well. So what we have is what we have.
These
Check
are the
with
only
us.
ones, and we have 2 of those.
We only have 1 of this.
That's all I could find.
We might have more of this not on the shelf.
Okay.
But I don't know. The 70 might be back ordered. Okay. But we're going to figure some of this out. What I would say to you is if you want one of these colors and you're not seeing enough for what you want to do, contact us. Don't just randomly blindly buy. Contact us so we can tell you, yes, we can get more of that, but it's back ordered. We don't know for how long, or no, that is no longer available. Like this one, I'm pretty sure, this lovely, luscious, dusty pink, this is all we have. So if you can think of something really cool to make out of 150-gram skein, awesome. Otherwise, we can't get this back in. But it might be like, I love that color. I don't know what I'm going to make out of it. I need to buy it now because we can't get more. You want to read some more stats on this?
Yes, it is 100% alpaca. You get 50 grams per bolt, which gives you about 140 meters, which is
155 maybe yards ish. Probably a little shy of that. You add about 10%. So, go ahead.
4.5 to 5 millimeter needle.
7 to an 8 in US sizes. Yep. The gauge on this, though, with their, again, the average knitter with those medium-sized needles, they're thinking you're only going to get about 17 stitches for 4 inches, which is a bigger gauge than usually like a worsted weight would get. So it's thinner looking, but they think they really want it to fluff. Yeah.
But I think it would be okay for like...
It's machine washable, it says on here. Yeah. Like almost, sorry, it'll be okay for what?
I think it would be okay for like a DK weight sweater.
Yeah. It'll be a little bit tighter weave. Yeah, of your stitches, but still soft because oh my gosh, it's alpaca.
It would make a fantastic winter weight ranunculus.
Well, and here's the thing is that we usually tell people don't make something out of 100% alpaca. I think the construction of this might have a little more integrity. Like usually just twisted alpaca will grow under its own weight. This is going to be lightweight, and I don't want to make promises I can't keep, but the crimped kind of twisted structure of this might hold together a little better. So what Liz is saying, the ranunculus is what I am wearing right now. Trying it out of this, I think, would be really fun.
I might have.
Uh-oh. She might have to do it. So what I find fascinating, I think most, if not all, of the Wool Addicts products, and they're like the hip cool line of Lang yarns. Like there's their little hip cousin. I don't know. Anyway, I think they're all machine washable, or they mark on there. I have not tested this, but it says on the label.
It says use detergent for wool wash without softener, and it does have the
without softener with an exclamation mark.
There is no hand in the little bowl.
No, there's no hand in the little dishy thing.
But lay flat to dry. Don't throw it in the dryer.
I think the dryer's going to mess almost anything up. But, unless you want it to be super fuzzy, right? Like my anemone hat, my little spirally hat. So that it's 100% alpaca. It doesn't look like that. It looks like there's something else keeping it together, but I think there's just finer and fluffier strands of alpaca that have been combined to make this, which is really, really cool. So they have numbers rather than like names. So 19 is this dusty rose that I think we only have the one of.
11 is this pink. It looks
pink.
Yellow.
We're having a morning, let me tell you. It's that mustardy yellow, but it's hard to, it's like the one I'm making my air sweater out of. This is water instead of air. Even when they have the accent, so what they did when they came out with Wool Addicts, they had like neutrals and then accent colors per season. And some of the accent colors, they still continue into new seasons, and some of them they discontinue. But that they had this like mustardy yellow one year where it's not identical on every base. And so for some bases, I don't know if they use the same dyes and it came out differently, or if they just said, well, this yarn, we would like this shade a little more. So
like the teal in the air is completely different than the teal in the water or the fire.
Mm-hmm. And the greens might be different one year. Some of the blues are consistent. It's hard to say. Anyway, more neutrals.
Color 70 is black, and I think we only have the one.
We might have some hiding somewhere that Liz doesn't realize we have hiding somewhere, but because I feel like we got some in, but we might have not put it on the wall yet. So check in the inventory online, and we will check too and see who's right. And one of us is and one of us is not, and whatever, doesn't matter.
Color number 3 is a cool gray.
Nice cool gray. Color 94 is a cream. That's the one I'm using. We just got more of this in, I believe. I haven't put it into the system yet, but we have more of this in because there are a lot of combos with color changing mohair that would be beautiful for this. So I was trying to get a bunch in stock. So I think we just got a bunch of neutral. Neutral goes with everything. Yay! What color you got?
96. It's kind of a taupey gray.
Taupey gray. Yep. Okay. And that might be most of the neutrals. That one kind of goes with what you're wearing. So
it's 74. It's kind of a tealy aqua.
Mm-hmm. It's very pretty. And I don't know if we have a ton of it, but
go with what
this goes with what you're wearing, and it's what you're knitting with. So let's see what color that is. 35.
It is blue.
It's like a deep royal blue. It's gorgeous. It's the one that's right under my head here. It's I think it was last year's accent color, but we're like behind on everything because the world stopped existing for like a year, or we only peaked at things when we really had to because we had to make some really tough choices about what we were spending money on. So, but I digress.
It's not a thing.
It's not a thing. This is color 18. It is like a super deep forest green. Very, very pretty. We've had people buy sets to make. We have some greens in the color changing mohair. It would be gorgeous. The Chevron Cloud, based on what I think was in the listing, said that I think it's going to take like 2 skeins of the color changing mohair and possibly 4 skeins of this, which I think is about 100 grams of both. No, this is 50 grams. It's 200 grams of this. 100 grams of the mohair because there's so much yardage on the mohair. Anyway, so we've got this We have color 15 is kind of a burnt sienna brown. It's not as deep as the brown in some of the other varieties of this yarn. But again, it's a nice, if you want a warm neutral, this might fit the bill.
Yeah, it's a pretty.
Yeah. We have color 64, kind of matches my ranunculus. It's a deep winey purple, and not whiny like complainy. Wine like a burgundy purple. It's more red than purple, but it's got those undertones to it. It's very pretty. If I hadn't made this out of the Alba, maybe I would have done out of this. And let's see. This is like a tomato red. It is color number 75. So this is just very different than a lot of the other colors, but I think it was just like, fun, accent color. If you like reds, again, it's an orangey red. I want to say the Happiness has some of the same colorways, which is our cotton version of Will Addicts. And the colors we picked off of online to try to just borrow from Will Addicts didn't match at all. And I don't know if I fixed those yet. I'm pretty sure I photographed these though. So they're pretty accurate.
That orangey red is almost a cross between the orange and the red we have in the Happiness. Like it's right in between.
It's pretty bright, I won't lie. But if that is your thing, you are going to love this yarn. One of the reasons this came across my attention as something maybe we wanted to talk about today is, of course, we had someone in looking for yarn to make like animals and things out of last week. And you said, hey, do you have your chevron cloud? And I didn't. So now it's here at the shop, at least for the moment. But she was thinking about using mohair for her pattern, but was worried it would be too thin. And this can create, like when you're making animals, you can hold a strand of mohair with something else. The biggest concern usually when making stuffed animals is you don't want the stuffing to show. And if it's too thin, what you're knitting with, you have to knit super tight and then you lose some of the softness. And I think this would make some really fun.
You could double strand it and add another structural bit of yarn in there, and it would be really tight, but you could still have the fuzzy of the.
And some of these colors, if you wanted like a natural looking animal, like a bunny or something like that, we have some fun colors for that. Or you can go with super bright. So I just think this would be fun. I have crocheted a little cowl out of this. I have no idea where it has gotten to. I crocheted it out of this guy right here, and it was just luscious. It's light as, this one is what? This is water, not air. I was gonna say it's light as air, but that's another yarn. But I could see how they're calling this water because it's got this ripply look to the yarn. But I think when you knit with it, you don't necessarily see that. You see the fluff, and it is just wonderful. So if you want a really fun accessory, especially, you could try making a whole sweater out of it. We've talked about ranunculi. It might work for those. But if you want a soft, fuzzy, light accessory like a scarf or a wrap or a cowl or a hat or gloves, I think the original pattern book that had this in it had some fingerless gloves in it, and it was wonderful. Check it out on Ravelry. You can see some listings of what people have made with it. It's just, even just in the ball, it's so squishy and soft and fun.
I was just thinking, well, you could overlap them. They'll eventually just felt together. I might do a stripe something.
She has lots of plans.
I have plans. Like,
y'all better buy some of this yarn before she bogarts it.
Well, I mean,
kidding. Some of these colorways we have so much of, you're not gonna
it would take just about 8 to do a ranunculus. So like 7, because it's a little over 100, but if I were to do a stripey thing, I could just do a bunch of random colors.
Yeah, absolutely. Did we mention what price this is?
We did not. We never.
Why do we keep forgetting that?
We have it for $17.95. 15% off that this week.
That's you're saving $2 or $3 on it, somewhere in the middle there. So my head math is kind of like, Someone else do the math on your calculator / phone and you will know. So, or if you put the code in when you're making the purchase, you will know. So until we do filming next week, these are the ones that will be 15% off this week. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. This is kind of a short session today, unless we wanted to talk about something else. I forget when we started. We have a lot of things.
We're at a quarter after.
Okay, so yeah, we're almost at a half an hour. I think that's okay. Maybe you'll get more from us tomorrow, because tomorrow is the Dear Becky and Lizzy edition of the Sun Dragon Sideshow. So if you have questions that you would like us to expound upon, email Liz at
Sun Dragon.
I didn't mean it to be saying. You should send an email to
me,
her.
Liz at sundragonartandfiber.com.
I was not intending to start the address. I'm sorry.
Brain is.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we came into some foibles with our online system that we're still trying to iron out. So we have a lot, and I haven't even gotten packages ready for mailing that we're hoping to get going. So we're probably going to wrap up so I can go do that, because life, let me tell you.
Our mail lady will be here soon.
Because she's so on it and with it that she runs ahead of schedule, and that's amazing. And we love her for that, but that means we have to go get stuff ready. So tomorrow's the Dear Becky and Lizzy edition. And if we don't have any questions, we will fill the space with something else. I will find something to talk about.
Fill the space.
And it will be yarn related, because y'all don't need to hear about other stuff. And if you do want to hear about that, contact me personally. So, other things.
Friday night.
Thank you. What's happening Friday night, Liz?
Our virtual sit and stitch.
Yes, another virtual sit and stitch. We had one last night. It was nice. It was kind of quiet, which was nice, because I was counting a lot.
One.
That's not the only reason it was quiet, but
4. She was counting 4.
I had to wrap around my needle 4 times, and then for my drop stitches, and some of them might be 3 and some of them might be 5. We'll find out.
So not a thing.
It'll even out in the blocking, right?
That's what they say.
That's what they say. We're already out of some colors of Daydream Dye Works. I haven't even had a chance to list them yet. And right now, if someone goes to the 9 to 5, the colors won't match up with the names, because if we have something listed, we have discovered, but we don't have a picture that we can tag to it, and it limits us to 12 pictures. So I have to do head math and maybe combine colorways into multiple colorways into one photo, because we're only allowed on our system 12 photos, and y'all know we have more than 12 colors or some things. If we don't have a picture up, when you use the drop down menu, it will default to the main picture, which is not what it looks like. And so anyone going to Daydream right now is gonna be very confused. So I'm gonna try to fix that before this video is published. So by the time you watch this and you go look at Daydream and all the pretties, you'll go, I don't know what she was talking about, because I fixed it. That's what I'm hoping to do. Yep. Knit night. Hoping is the key word there. Life has been just busy enough that
she will get everything ready to photograph. It's all sitting up there, and then someone will walk in.
Which, we love. We need to have customers. And that's part of what we're doing.
It's our job.
Yeah.
But they'll walk in, and then somebody else will walk in, and then I'll have to wind yarn, which means all of her lovelies that she's lined up on her photographing station, which is also the winding station, get moved.
It'll get uprooted. And it's life.
It's just busy enough.
And this is one of the reasons why we have limited time for pattern help. And we really ask people to sign up for that with me. We've had some handful of people recently who've signed up for a shopping appointment, but they really want pattern help. Sometimes they want both. Sometimes we can make that work. If they're only coming in for pattern help, we might have to reschedule. So it's just, life is complicated right now. And the days of tons of people in the shop doing a million different things and hanging out all day, we're not back there yet. And we don't know if and when we'll ever get back there. But we need to see what's happening with life first. So we need to, slow the roll a little bit. So we do want to help everybody as best we can. And if you have visited the shop, we will do our best with that. We really, really do try very hard. And that's one of the things that actually is assisted by having limited traffic flow in the shop, is we can assist you better. I remember pre-COVID, we had times when there were a dozen people in the shop, and I worried that some people felt neglected because there's only 2 of us. and
even
trying to help multiple people at a time.
pre-COVID, even if we had a mignonette or two in the shop, there were still more people than we could get personal attention to. And some people don't want personal attention, and we try and respect that. But we also try and help everybody out. And there were moments that if it was a Saturday, you were doing classes at the table, and I'd just have a line coming out of the register, and somebody would go, "Hey, where's this?" And I'd point them to it.
Or I'd have two people pulling in different directions, both wanting advice on a pattern and what yarn would work for it. And I was trying, but someone probably felt slighted, and it was not my intention. So, so know that we are doing our best, and we are, if you come up and there are multiple people in the shop and we ask you to wait, it's so you can have the best experience possible when you do come in. So, anyway, I've just updated some of that on, Instagram and Facebook to try to make it clear, because we're shifting our policies to open up, but only mildly, just in case, you know. So this weekend is a regular weekend. There's no virtual sit and stitch on Sunday. Maybe I can get some sleep. As much as I love hanging out with everybody online, I think I need some sleep. And the cycle repeats next week. Our next weekend afternoon rather than evening sit and stitch, and those happen on Facebook Live and Zoom. That is going to be August 22nd. So stock up and wait and get ready, or come to evening sit and stitch, or visit us in person. And if you are a long distance shopper, you can always contact us, especially when the shop is open, and we will get back to you just as soon as we can. So we love you all. We miss you. We hope to meet those of you that know us and we don't know you yet. That would be wonderful. So if you're in the area, or you want to call up, that's fantastic. Last things that we always like to throw in here, if you haven't already, please subscribe, because we're inching and crawling our way to 600, and we still have at least 50 to go. The numbers keep fluctuating. So, but if we do, you guys get a sale. I know it feels like it's a long way to go, but if everybody watching right now who's not subscribed hit the subscribe button, I bet we'd get there really fast. So I bet a lot of people watching are already subscribed though. So we'll see.
Like, ring the bell.
Yeah. All the things, comment.
All the fun algorithmic.
Yeah. I mean, we love hearing from you, and then it helps the algorithms too, but that's besides the point. But it's just fun hearing from people. And if you would like to support us more than just subscribing, we do have the Patreon account that I like to mention, where for as little as $3 a month, you can get your name in the credits here as being one of our supporters. There are higher levels that you get swag after like 3 months from us, from Patreon actually, but we've pushed the buttons to make it happen. And it's okay if you can't, we get it. Any support you can show, and that can be just commenting and saying, this is fun to watch. We love it. It's really great. So, and that's what we're all about. We're about community. The things like making sure the shop stays open, that's always a good thing. But we're really about community at heart, and that's the important thing for us. So, yeah, I could go on, but it gets all schmaltzy then and stuff, and all right, I got to get ready for mailing, and we have a lesson this morning, and we maybe have appointments this afternoon. So enjoy, save money if any of this yarn interests you, and I can't think of anything else to say anyway, so we don't use show notes. So bless you.
Thank you.
Are you done? No, she's never done. This would be an awkward time to end the video.
But we should end the video.
But we need to end I was letting you finish. Bless you.
Thank you.
Join us tomorrow. We'll talk about something fun that has to do with yarn, most likely. Bye.